On the Story Slam in November, and I was really taken aback by the profound stories that were shared that night. This will not be a profound story. I moved my family to Alabama, not on my choice. My boss came to me and said, "Hey, you're doing such a great job at work. Congratulations, we want you to go to Alabama and live with the Alabamians." Thank you. We had some concerns with 3 kids. First time they moved schools, first time they moved. And above all things, above promotions, above moves, family matters most, right? And if you don't know, Alabama, not well known for its academics. They do some things really well in Alabama. They play football really well. The kids in Alabama can read a defense. But they can't read. Right? In Alabama, you're going to hear a lot of "Roll Tide," but those people are not going to be on the honor roll. Okay, that's what's Alabama. So we got to Alabama, and pretty soon I started noticing some red flags with the education system. A little bit about me: I'm from Perry County, a farm boy. So if I'm noticing some problems with your education system, it's a problem. First day of school, our kindergartner came home, and he was doing a very normal kindergarten behavior. He's reciting his numbers. I just want to see where the kids were. And he's reciting them to me, and he goes 7, 8, 9, 10. I was like, whoa, what was that? It's not right. So we say 10, and he said, "Well, my teacher said 10. I was like, no, we're not going to do that. He goes, "Dad, what's the difference between 10 and 10? I said, "About 10 IQ points." So my 5th grader came home that first week and had a really interesting geography review to report. Said the teacher was up in front, holding a map, pointing out the states and talking a little bit about each state. And she said, "Here's Texas, y'all. Texas is the biggest state in the country." My son raised his hand. We're very geographically, spatially aware in my family. He said, "Actually, Alaska's the biggest state. Alaska's bigger than Texas, California, and Montana combined." The kids all looked at him. And the teacher said, "No, Levi, look how big Texas is here. And look how little Alaska is out here in the ocean next to Hawaii." Kids looked at him, they're like, "New kid's a dummy." I was like, and my son said, "Well, actually, that's not where Alaska is, and that's not drawn to scale." He said a kid said, "No, that's a map, not a scale for weighing things." And it's like, I said, "Buddy, were you embarrassed? This was like the 3rd day of school." He said, "Yeah, Dad, I was. I was embarrassed for them." They changed activities. The teacher sat down on their computer. She gets up. She goes like, "Hey, y'all, the new kid was right. Alaska is the biggest state." They looked at him like he was a sorcerer. They're like, "Where'd you get that information? Our textbooks are from 1940. But our biggest thing for the week, our biggest was the 2nd day of school. We got a call from the principal. And he said, "We think your daughter's gifted." It's like, "It's the 2nd day of school. What has she done to make you think she's gifted?" He goes, "Well, she drew a real pretty picture of a kitty cat." It's like, "That's your gifted test in Alabama? She drew a real pretty picture of a kitty cat?" "She's not gifted. She's from Pennsylvania. That's what's going on there." He goes, "Well, we sure would like to test her." I said, "Go ahead and test her." So we went in there a couple days later for the test results, and he goes, "Well, she scored a 20. I said, "See, a 20%. I told you she wasn't gifted." He goes, "No, sir, a 20 out of 20. It's like, your gifted test only goes to 20? We got to fix this. He started telling us about the gifted program, and I was like, "She's not gifted. Let me see that test." Test had 2 questions on it. First question was, "Please find and locate Alabama on this map of Alabama." Second question was, "How many possums in a 2-possum pie?" Like, these were not tough questions. All right, everything else was true. That last part was embellished. Everything else, I promise, was true. He starts telling us about the gifted program, and I'm I'm like, you know what? This sounds a lot like regular school in Pennsylvania. We have 2 more boys at the school. We'd like to have them tested as well. And he goes, whoa, sir. He goes, not everyone's gifted. Because I don't want you counting your possums, okay? I don't want you getting ahead of yourself. So we had the boys tested. He called back with the results. And he goes, sir, I do not believe it. 3 out of 3 gifted kids in that family, sir. What's in them kids? So I don't know, 23 sets of chromosomes, I think, is what's in those kids. They're from Pennsylvania. My wife and I are not from the same family. That's what's going on there in Alabama. And that's coming from somebody from Perry County. So that's saying something. I don't know if you know this, but 23andMe is not a popular DNA test in Alabama. It's like 20-ish&Me. You get the results back. They're like, we're family. Everybody's related. We had a great year in Alabama. We really did. Our family did well. We were treated well. We were respected. Very friendly people. When you go, you feel good in Alabama because do you ever go to a family reunion and you look around and you're like, I'm doing pretty well. That's what it's like a year in Alabama. By the way, if you went to a family reunion and you didn't think that, somebody else was looking at you and they were thinking that. Just put it out there. We came back home and we got the kids re-enrolled in school and we said, hey, they're gifted now. And they go, really? They weren't when they left. It's like, doesn't that reciprocate? They're like, no, we're going to test them here. And happy to tell you, 3 out of 3 kids not gifted in our family. We got the kids together. We're like, you guys are what our life is about. We love you. You're not gifted. And roll tide. So that was fun.